What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, and I'm here with the review for Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 12, episode 16, titled In the Name of Cherry. So, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this video, okay? Alright, you guys, so before I actually get started with this video, I want to address something that I saw tonight. And it was on Watch What Happens Live. So you guys know, like, before whatever the next show is that comes on, but whatever the show is that's on before Watch What Happens Live, you know, Andy will come on and say he's in live in the clubhouse with whoever his guest is. So his guest tonight happened to be Nene and Marlo. I don't know why he chose those two on tonight's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. He did it to be shady and messy. That's all he did. So he asked Nene the question, did she think that Kim was watching? She said, fuck her on live television. She's like, oh, I can't say that. I hope that the FCC finds the fuck out of her ass. Like, so then let's just move into it, Watch What Happens Live, because I just finished watching Watch What Happens Live. That whole fucking episode, like, Nene and Marlo did nothing but shit on Kenya. They talked shit about Kenya. They talked about her marriage. They talked about, Nene sat there and fucking lied, talking about, you know, a viewer asked the question, did she want to apologize? Did she feel like she owed Kenya an apology for calling her baby a buffalo? Nene says, oh, you know, with this show, we've always maintained that the kids are off limits, that we don't talk about the kids. What I was saying was I was calling Kenya a buffalo. No. And I remember this. I remember what happened verbatim last season at that finale party. You said, "Oh, she's having a buffalo. You look like she's gonna have a buffalo." You called her baby a buffalo. You big, and you look like a fucking moose. So, yeah. But you know, it's so funny because for Nene to sit there and talk so much shit about Cynthia, which we're gonna talk about Cynthia in just a minute. For Nene to sit there and talk so much shit about Cynthia and the fact that Cynthia did those interviews about her, you hypocrite. You just sat here and did one interview about Kenya. Actually, you've done multiple interviews about Kenya. Because Kenya went on the Wendy Williams show. Wendy Williams, y'all know how Wendy Williams is. Wendy asked Kenya some questions, but Nene has gone on Extra. She's gone on Access Hollywood. She was on The Talk recently. Like, Nene has gone on, now Nene has gone on interviews and she's talking about Kenya. So you can't really sit here and talk shit. You can't talk shit about Cynthia, but then you sit here and you sit here on television talking shit about Kenya. Like, you are a fucking hypocrite. But you guys, let's go ahead and just jump into the episode review, okay? So this episode, we see Cynthia. So Cynthia was throwing a baby shower for Eva. Now here's another thing about Nene that annoyed me. She shaded Eva in her well, they don't do green screens. They do actually have green screens. I never understand because I see the girls when they post their stuff, they have green screens around them, but behind them, like what's behind me, this is a green screen. This is a green screen, but they have like a monitor, like a projector that shows like a house or something. I never understand that shit, but you know, that's Bravo's production or whoever's production. Actually, I think, you know, no, I think it's just Atlanta because I don't even know if Potomac does that. You guys, I'm ready for Potomac to come back. I am so excited for Potomac season 5. Bring on Potomac. But yeah, you know, Nene shade at the house. All the girls show up. They all look beautiful, by the way. I don't know what Marlo had on. I was trying to figure that out for the longest time, what Marlo had on. Never figured it out. So we see the girls, they're talking about Kenya and that bowling event and how Kenya seems very submissive to Mark. And this was Portia, Tanya, and Nene talking. Nene had made the point of saying that she feels like when it comes to Kenya, that Kenya is not submissive. She knows what submissive look like. That's not submissive. Kenya is not herself, which we'll discuss that in a little bit. And then Nene also goes one step forward. She said she's reached out to Kenya, tried to extend the olive branch. And she said that on her YouTube channel that she's extended olive branches to Kenya. She didn't go in depth about what she had done. But in this episode, she did say what she had did. She reached out to Kenya after going to Kim Porter's funeral and Nipsey Hussle's death last year. I mean, okay, if that's what it is. I mean, hey, I'm not knocking Nene. By no means am I knocking her. If she wants to make amends with Kenya, that's cool. I don't care. But you can't get mad because Kenya not accepting your apology. We're gonna talk about that in a few minutes as well. Um, so then they go inside, they start playing games. They play this sucking game, and they were like, "Uh oh, Portia, you got this. Candy, you got this." And neither one of them got it. Shamia got it, and the reason why Shamia got it is because Shamia bit a hole into the bottle, into the nipple of the bottle, and she just downed it. I'm like, shit. I wish they would do more things like this. Just show the girls like having fun. I get it. It's all about drama, but you can splash in some drama and some fun stuff. Hell, look at Beverly Hills. Look at Beverly Hills. Speaking of Beverly Hills, they haven't even released a trailer for Beverly Hills, but they have released a trailer for New York, which comes on in April. So by my guess, if Beverly Hills I'm talking about Beverly Hills. If New York comes on in April, that means Potomac is going to be right around that same time. Potomac is probably going to be between April and May. So Potomac is somewhere in there. But then we also got to remember Married to Medicine Los Angeles is coming back pretty soon. So I don't know when that's coming back. I feel like Married to Medicine Los Angeles will be coming back sometime. Well, no. Because they got that new TV show called Family Karma that's coming on next Sunday. That's replacing Shahs of Sunset, which is moving to Fridays. Better Shahs of Sunset than Married to Medicine. Sorry, Shahs. Like y'all, but y'all, it is what it is. So they also played a game where they made a dress for Eva. I don't know who that woman was that won, but she was on Kenya's side. We saw Miss Juicy there. So then we see Candy. So Candy takes Tanya and Kenya outside to have a conversation. So we found out that Kenya had apologized to Tanya, and she was inviting Tanya and Paul to Mark's event. Now Tanya says she doesn't know if Paul's gonna want to come because of the whole cookie later situation, and I absolutely understand it. You drug Paul into a situation that he didn't need to be drugged into. There definitely could have been different ways about this cookie later situation than what actually happened. What could have happened was let's see, what could have happened. I mean, when a cookie lady said something to Cynthia and Kenya, y'all could have at least went to Tanya and said, Tanya, I heard, I just want to be real with you, keep it 100 with you. So we was at this cookie shop, and this lady that works, the owner of the shop, she came up to me and Cynthia, and she said to us that, Paul tried to talk to her. I don't believe it, but if you want to know anything about the woman, I'll definitely give you the woman's information. If you don't, I'm gonna leave the ball in your court. So you do what you want to do with it. Now Kenya was upset about the fact that she didn't accept her apology. And I'm like, well, she doesn't have to accept your apology for calling her a see you next Tuesday. But and then Tanya said she doesn't know if Paul is gonna. Well, I think I just said that. So it's highly unlikely that Paul is gonna come. That didn't have nothing to y'all like. You didn't have to drag him into your beef with Tanya. You really didn't have to do that. So then we do see Cynthia and Kenya. So they're at Lake Bailey. And Cynthia is once again talking to Kenya about her relationship with Mike. And I'm trying to figure out for the life of me, why are you having this whole long-ass conversation with Kenya, whose marriage is in turmoil itself? Like, why not ask somebody like maybe Candy? Because Candy's been married to Todd for what, how many years? They've been married for at least a good 5 or 6 years now, maybe more than that. Why not go to Candy and Todd? Why not go to Candy? Like, that would have been a better option than Kenya. And I get it, you and Kenya are good friends, but go with someone who's been married a lot longer, whose marriage is in a good spot. I don't know. She's talking about how they're okay with going to premarital counseling. That's fine. Now Kenya does say that I think she's saying that her Cynthia and Mike's relationship is mirroring hers and Mark's. My thing with Kenya and Mark's relationship, I feel like with those two, they got married too fast, too soon. I don't know if they really knew each other. And Kenya kind of said that she doesn't know things that make him tick, I guess. Well, if you don't know things that make him tick, that means that you jumped into your marriage just a little bit too soon. I don't care if you guys have been married for 3 years now, or been together for 3 years. You jumped into your marriage way too soon. like Kenya said in her interview that she was, she knew that if Mark had asked her to marry her anytime sooner, she would have said yes. And I'm just like, why? Like, what's wrong with dating a person? What's wrong with getting to know a person? I get Kenya, is a woman of a certain age, but that's that's a moot point. Basically, to be quite honest with you, that's moot. But let's move on, you guys. All right, you guys. So next up, let's just get Nene out the way because I don't want to discuss her anymore. So we see Wendy. She's on the phone with her good girlfriend, Wendy Williams. And, she's calling Wendy for some advice. I'm like, oh, how coincidental. You're calling Wendy Williams for some advice. Whatever. So, Nene's telling Wendy, that she's been so nice to Kenya. She speaks to Kenya. She's reached out to Kenya, but Kenya won't speak to her. Won't do anything with, involving her. Again, just like I said about Tanya with Kenya, Nene, Kenya don't owe you shit. Just because you've apologized to her, Kenya does not have to accept your apology. She don't have to be cool with you. She don't have to do anything involving the letters Y, O, and U. Like, I don't. For women of a certain age, y'all feel entitled by certain things. Like, y'all feel like just because y'all do things that people should, like, just because you apologize to a person, they should, openly accept your apology. Life doesn't work that way. So, Nene said, actually, not Nene. Wendy says if Kenya pushes you, let her make herself look like the asshole, and her true colors will shine through. I'm like, wow, Wendy. It must be draining to be friends with. It must be draining to be friends on both ends. To be friends with Wendy Williams and to be friends with Nene. But more so specifically, it must be draining to be friends with Nene, with Lanithia Monique Leaks. Gotta be draining to be friends with that woman because I just can't understand for the life of me why anybody would want to be friends with her. I understand why Marlo's friends with her because Marlo wants to be on this show. And that's her way on the show, basically. And I gotta keep it real. That's Marlo's way on the show. Um, and uh, what's her name? Wendy. Wendy made a mention of Nene having work done on her face, and she says nothing's been done to this face, honey. I beg to differ, Pinocchio. Your nose, your nose has been done multiple times. Looks like your nose is pinched in at this point. Well, actually, that's exactly how her nose looks. That is exactly like if you can just pinch my nose in, like like that is how her nose looks. Her nose looks like that. Like she can't breathe. Cause I can barely breathe. I can barely breathe. But yeah, she also tells her, go on that trip, be nice to the girls, but also give the girls your ass to kiss. Girl, I'm not about kissing her ass but Marlo. And you at this point. But let's move on. All right, you guys. So next, let's move over to Candy. So Candy didn't have a whole lot in this episode. We saw Candy. She was with Don and Juanita and with Jamie. I'm gonna keep my. I'm gonna reserve. I'm gonna reserve my opinions of Candy's relationship with Jamie. I'm really gonna reserve that one and keep it to myself. I'm gonna let that be. It's kind of interesting to me. If you want me to be honest with you, I wouldn't necessarily do it just because. Never mind. Just gonna move on. But we see her. So she is, reciting these lines, and it's for her role that she got on the. It's for the Shy. Now it wasn't necessarily her character that she got on the Shy. I don't believe. Um, I was so dead at the fact that the character is a soft lesbian. I'm like, well, shit. Candy does give soft lesbian tease. Well, soft stud tease. She definitely does. She gives that vibe just a damn bit. She don't believe that she does, but I'm like, yeah, girl, you definitely give a soft stud tease. You give it. You give it like it ain't nothing. And we also find out there's a sex scene. Cool with that. So Karma, we saw Karma. I will fuck you up. Mama Joyce. Mama Joyce and her, she will fuck Karma up. So Karma, they talking about her, what's going on between she and Todd, how, the baby's on the way, and, she doesn't have a lot of time to do anything. And she basically just needs Todd to be there for her. I really don't feel like talking about this, be quite honest with you, because we know she took the role on The Shy. She came back. Actually, I think they had finished filming by the time Blaze was born. I think. I'm not positive. I think. I think. I think. I'm not positive. She was talking about how she and Tyler were bumping heads. I feel like actually, I feel like they were still bumping heads even after the baby was born, because he was going out to the club after she was born. But that's basically it on Candy's front right now. So let's move on to the main event of this episode, which is Kenya. All right, so in the beginning of the episode, we saw Kenya. She was talking to the graphic designer that is planning. She's planning Mike's event. I'm like, shit, what the hell did he have to do with his event? Like, because from what Kenya was making it seem, she planned everything. I'm like, well, where did Mark fall into this at? How is this his event? Shouldn't this be your event? But, it is what it is. So then we do see her. She goes home and she has some clothes for him. I guess she was supposed to be styling him as well. He was a complete and total asshole to her. Like, God, just look at the fucking clothes and be like, say yay or nay. And, she wants him to color coordinate, and I'm just like, he's not feeling it. I'm like, Kenny, you are beating a dead horse with a stick at this point. Like, I don't understand what the fuck Kenya sees in Mark. Mark must have, I don't know. I don't know what it is she see in that asshole. Maybe she see herself, and that's kind of shade to her. No shade to her. Actually, it's a little bit of shade. I don't know what. I really just don't know what it is that Kenya sees in him. Gosh, Kenya could do so much better than him. Keep it real with you. She could do a lot better. She's a gorgeous woman, banging body. I just don't know what she sees in Mark. I truly, honestly, God, don't. So, at the event, we see Cynthia and Mike were there. And, Mark comes downstairs and he completely walked by them. I'm like, whoa. Okay. So this is how we're going to get things started. So, we saw Portia and Tanya and Coach Dennis show up. And, there was Tanya's name wasn't on the list. So, Portia noticed that Shamia had a little placeholder. Speaking of them tags for where the people sit, that was so ghetto. Those were handwritten like, damn. Y'all couldn't get a computer to type up people's names. But you know what? Who knows? Maybe it just went in the budget. Maybe it went in the budget. So we also saw that, Marlo showed up with her nephews, which I thought that was a good look for her. Now, I was so confused. Kenya, now, when I saw Marlo, she was about to walk in the way of where Mark was standing. But Kenya could have said, Marlo, come this way. Like, sit right here. It's cool. But she told her to go stand in the back, and then they would bring her back. I was just like, okay. It didn't make a lot, again, guys, it just didn't make too much sense to me. I would think that you would want them, since she has those two boys with her, since this is supposed to be an uplifting moment from, black men. I would think that she has two young black boys. I would think that you would want them to be at the front so that they can hear what, Mike is saying, Mark is saying. Who else spoke? Mike Hill. Ain't Eva's husband named Mike? Yeah, Mike Sterling, shit. These Mikes. Mike Hill, Mike Sterling, and Mark. And I even saw Coach Dennis up there. Like if this is for young kids, if this is to uplift, black men, show them that there's a lot more than what they tell us we can do in the streets. That we're, they try to say most black men will be in jail and stuff. Just show them something positive and uplifting. I would think that you would want them at the front, but it is what it is. It was her event. I'm not gonna tell her where she should have sat Marlon and them boys. It is what it is. Now, when Marlo found out where she was supposed to be sitting at, Marlo got upset. And, you know, she was like, I'm leaving. So then the other girls went and got her and told her, no, Marlo, you sitting right here, like, you so close that you can touch Portia. Or Tanya, one of them. I don't know which one it was. So, you know, Marlo was like, you know what? Okay, cool. We'll come back. Now, Kenya was still upset about the fact that Marlo, you know, talking about she made it all about herself. No, she didn't really make it about herself. And, you know, Kenya's talking about how, you know, those seats cost $250 and, you know, you got two other people. Like, where's your 750 at? Like, I was like, okay, Kenya, this is very much so misplaced anger because your husband, like, he didn't tell you you look beautiful, which you did look beautiful in that dress. Absolutely stunning. I don't know what man would see a woman in that banging ass dress. And I said, oh shit, can't wait to get your ass home and take that dress off of you. And then, you know, when he was giving his speech, he didn't even acknowledge Kenya, his wife. I was like, okay, this is not good. This is really bad. Very bad. Very, very, very bad. Um Now we did see, you know, he was talking to the producers at one point, and they were no, actually that was that was the host. She was asking him how did he feel about marriage. He said married life. He said he hated. I'm like, and I hoop. Like, damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I just again I don't understand why Kenya wants to be married to that man. God, like you can raise your daughter with him, but you shouldn't never nope, you should not be in a relationship with that. But you guys, that was Real Housewives of Atlanta. Be sure to like this video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything else. Share this video, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.